Black Rain, another Ridley Scott film with Michael Douglas. One of my favourite films growing up. I used to have it on videotape. I used to watch it. Absolutely loved it. You got to see it for the first time this year, and I was so glad when you said you were watching it. And I was like, so, tell us, what did you think of that?
Yeah, it was really interesting. Obviously, like, I think I'm on the Ridley Scott train this year.
Fuck you, thank you very much. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Go on. So, go on.
Good train to be
on. Yeah. Michael Douglas, Andy Garcia. I mean, simple premise, NYPD detectives. They've got a member of the Yakuza that they've arrested, but they must extradite him back to Japan. But when they get off the plane and hand him over to police officials, it turns out that they weren't police officials.
No, they hand him over to the wrong guys.
They got him to the mafia.
What a fuck up.
So then, of course, they need to find this guy as the whole operation. So they embed themselves with the Japanese police, who were not
happy about having a couple of gun-toting Yanks on the squad.
You can't carry those guns around.
And Michael Douglas is a badass Japanese.
If you pull it, you better use it.
It's a great story, great action. It's shot beautifully. It gave me tones of Blade Runner, of course, Ridley Scott. The neon.
Because of the Japanese element as well, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a hard-hitting police film, more in lines with, like, To Live and Die in LA or something like that. It's
I always felt like it was like Ridley Scott doing Yakuza, which is another great film with Robert Mitchum. And it also has Ken Takakura in that as well. He's in both films playing a similar role. He's kind of assisting the Americans over there. And if you watch Yakuza, you'll draw a load of parallels yourself. You go, I see where this was a massive influence on Black Rain. Not only because Takakura is in it as well, but when you see him, and in both films, he's not aged a day, even though they're almost like 15, 20 years apart. Takakura is like,
still looking good.
Yeah, Japanese don't crack. It's like, it still looks the same. It's almost the same character. You've also got Kate Capshaw in Black Rain, known primarily for her role in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It's nice to see her in something else that's not that, where she plays the sort of gangster's mole in that, doesn't she? Kind of similar in a way, but less screamy.
Less screamy.
But it's one of my favourite films, so I was so glad you got to watch it, because I think it's one of Ridley Scott's unsung great masterpieces. He's so famous for Gladiator, Blade Runner, all of these others. Black Rain was one of those that sort of snuck under the radar. Late 80s, early 90s, when was it? 89, so right on the cusp. And I'm a massive Michael Douglas fan, always liked him. And I thought he was great in this as that kind of grizzled, tough New York cop that is not going to stop until he gets his man. And so even though the Japanese don't want him there, he's getting Massa into loads of trouble because, he's trying to cover for him and stuff. And then it's like, I'm still not going to stop until I get this guy, because it's my fault that he got away because I gave him away.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Cool film. Cool film. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us at buymeacoffee.com or join us on Patreon. All links below.